Okay, it's 5:32 p.m. October 18th. Today is what day? It is Wednesday. Yeah, why am I questioning it? I went out earlier today and met with silence, basically. I think I had one order on one and one on the other one offer, and they were too bad to take. So, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But that's what happens on Wednesdays sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And I mean, it's ever since I can remember this is food delivery, by the way, but when I worked actually as a teenager, I worked in restaurants. Wednesday was the worst day. So that was many, many, many moons ago. But he's going in to get me some ice. He just wanted to get out anyway. But I thought I'd make a little clip while he was out there, in there. And but it was a bad day, and I felt like I really needed to get out of the house. I didn't work yesterday, the day before. Was letting my ankles are still swollen. The rest of it, not so much. My ankles are still swollen, and which is down the line. Oh, I don't want to tell the whole story again. Is why I'm doing these gig works, so to make some money to get affordable health care, through the marketplace. I have to prove I make some certain amount. That's how it started off, and it's evolved since then. But back in July, it started off, end of July. Anyway, that's such a long story. And so I want to, we're just going out because I just really wanted to get out of the house, get out of my own brain, really, because I'd been calling to see about, a new doctor, and just a little while, like I think I started around 3 o'clock, sometime around there. And it was just, really, is this going to be my experience again? You're trying to find a new doctor, because I had an insurance, didn't like the way that they worked, the way they were, and that could possibly be how all of them work. People that are in that network, and that one was a bit different than just being in the network. And then, I'm not an object holding a fresh new insurance card that they can use. It really ticked me off. And then I went to try to find one that is for people without insurance, and not the one that I had before. Either one. I actually scheduled an appointment with the other one, and I said no. And then I got insurance again. I could try calling them, an hour on hold, and being transferred between around close to an hour. I don't know, it might have been longer. Back and forth. Being put on hold, let me transfer you, put on hold. Then they transferred me 5 times. Still didn't get the answers, and I think the last person just was smart aleck. And she gave me some answers, which turned one of them, it was not answers, but I just wanted to know doctors in my area, and one of them was a reproductive doctor. I'm 60 years old. I don't need a reproductive doctor. Now, that's what it was called, reproductive. Like, I don't remember it ever being called that, but okay. Yeah, there was a more sophisticated name for it. But wouldn't you think that she was being a little bit on the smart aleck side? There was another one I had looked up before then. I'm like, oh my goodness, I read the reviews. I'm learning to do that. And yes, I am one to trust them, because I've seen some of them that places I've been to, and people were putting reviews up that were just as bad. But anyway, another one, a different one, totally bad, really, really bad reviews all around. So no. Okay, that was actually made on October 18th, and today is November 4th. That's how fast I got that one up. But so much has changed since then. Even I just saw a doctor the other day, Thursday, yeah, and it was like a fiasco on the way there, while there on the way back. It was just one thing after another. But I really didn't like, all these doctors I've had over how long now? They barely ever told me anything. And that 3 times I went to the ER, twice in May and once in June, it was like they just set me in a room, left me in there, come in there every few minutes. It was crickets, basically. Hearing crickets and double talk. Gibberish, this kind of stuff. They didn't they apparently had their own views, about people without insurance here in Texas. And they weren't about to tell me. And they even told me to, is one of the people I was supposed to call, and when I called her, she must have seen my name on the caller ID, and when she answered the phone, she answered it, and she said, yeah, this is what they did to you. She didn't answer it, hello, this is so-and-so, or, any of that. Well, I was turning on the speaker at the time, but she didn't address anything like, give me a moment. She went right into it. She said, this is what they did in the ER, she meant in the ER to you. Yeah, and she was right, so I just went with her flow. But yeah, this guy told him some of that, and he was like, he in a way he didn't want to hear it. He was kind of, I wouldn't say really dismissive of it, but he, I could say he doubted it, but at the same time he knew it probably was fact. And all he heard was, especially when I said I'll have a new insurance card coming January. So I dropped that one. Well, guess what? I'm going to be back on that one. And I'm sure he's going to, well, anyway, he told me, basically when I told him that, because he was asking me something, and I told him that, and they're not supposed to know from what I understood, from what I ever understood about the past. I don't know if things changed or what. But he said, what? His eyes got all big, just like that one, that was the reason, one of the two, that I dropped that insurance. It was all about the insurance card with dangling dollar signs, God, it's just so, but his eyes got big. He said, no, wait a minute, hold on. What did you say about insurance? New insurance? Yeah. Man, I'm telling you. But anyway, I don't know. I'm so sick of trying to find a good doctor. I'm so sick of trying to find somebody. And this guy acted as though I was simple-minded or just could not comprehend. I couldn't comprehend some of what he said because he would turn his head like that. He would be loud here. Then he'd turn his head. Yeah, he would turn his head like that and speak lower. Or just as in the way he speaks. His voice goes low all of a sudden. Well, I didn't tell him that, but then he started patronizing like repeating the same thing as though I couldn't figure it out from the start. I have a genius IQ. That says a lot about him now, doesn't it? He doesn't know that, of course. But I could say a lot of things about him, which I probably will, because I'm just tired of looking for him. There's nothing. I mean, I've seen so many providers. I don't even want to call them healthcare providers, because when do they actually do the healthcare? When is it not all about the money? Whether you have the money and we have the insurance or you don't, it's still all about the money, all about the Benjamins, as people say. The ones I've seen, I'm not talking about all. I'm talking about the ones I've seen. I cannot think of any that weren't that way. And I don't know how many years now. And like I say, I've said before, I make videos like this and call them Life in Narcissismville, which of course Narcissismville does not exist, but only in my mind that, I know these different places and everything and different, like that. Different areas, arenas, whatever, different things. And what happens? Time and time again, I'm a sociologist, master's degree in sociology, taught at college and university. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. Yeah, I have a clue. But oh my goodness, some of this stuff, I'm telling you, it's like unbelievable. And now to move to the delivery stuff, since I did drop that insurance, but I dropped it before I made this first part. But since I dropped it, my reason for doing it is changing. One of them is exercise. And I found out how important that it is, as it is. Not just, of course, exercise, is important, but this is especially important. It's supposed to help with the symptoms I'm having, and I'm going to leave all that stuff out. But, basically it's kind of what I suspected. But, of course, I'm not going to get that from any so-called professionals, medical professionals. God, sick. It's just so psycho. But anyway, a lot of different things happened, and so now I'm doing that more, and especially to get out. And I think I even said in that video, to get out of my own head. To have something else to think about and do. But it's not been easy because we had a really big cold snap. Yeah, really. After the beginning of October, it was in the hundreds. Then it went into the 90s, but the heat indexes were in the hundreds, some of those. Then we had some cool days, but quickly went into three or four nights. It was dipped down below zero. I mean, below freezing, not zero, but below freezing. And then we have a week now that it's going to be better. But I went out one time, it started Friday, and I went out Friday, and my legs, ankles, and all swelled up. Well, actually I went twice that day, which was yesterday. My goodness, it seems like it was eons ago. So today I didn't go out. Well, when I went out last night, Adam went with me and to do these food delivery things, like DoorDash and Uber Eats and those kinds. And I did it, start them for the health insurance. It's a long story, but anyway, last night it was just bad, and it ended bad with one. It was a really bad delivery all around. So many different reasons it was bad, and misunderstanding, not with me, but it was just bad. And then the guy, I guess he felt really important when he took his like $4 tip, removed it. So, like, the trouble I went through, you owe me a lot more than $4. Well, he doesn't owe me anything, but I'm not one of those that says the customer is this, the customer is that. If the customer is a jerk, he was a jerk, then, that's that one customer. Not all customers, like too many say. These customers, all of these customers. The customer doesn't owe us crap. Period. Plain and simple. But anyway, he had it up there, the tip, but he took that back off, and he even brought his cell phone right in front of me to do it. He didn't say anything. He didn't say that's what he was doing, but yeah, he wasn't that brave, this big Bubba guy. Well, he wasn't a Bubba, really. He was just a big guy. And a young, big guy. Whatever. People like that, they just make me think, man, it must be sad to be you. Really. That's how you show you are a boss. It cracks me up. I've only had, I think that was the second one in all these months since the end of July. And I mean, in a way, I don't blame him at all, but it wasn't all me. It was also all him, too. Not all, but it wasn't all me, but it was him, too. So, yeah. He's one of those with a high sense of entitlement. So, I mean, he's entitled to the service, but his demeanor, his attitude, and apparently nobody wanted to take that, and I got it as an add-on, which I don't do add-ons, but Adam was saying, let's just try it. It's right down the road. I'm like, okay, well, let's see how bad it turns out. And, of course, it did. And my suspicion is also that the ones that get added on are the ones that nobody wants to take, and there were good reasons. So, yeah, really good reasons. I don't like that place. It's real nice, but it's a campus. It seems like a campus to me. That's what I'm calling it. That's not. I don't really know what it is, but it's kind of like maybe it's not a university or a college or anything that I know of. But I mean, I don't think it's a university. I'm pretty sure it's not a college either. But what I think is maybe training, and it must be in tech. I'm thinking, and I could be totally wrong, but it's huge. And what's funny is the maps, the maps, which use on either one of them, they go crazy out there. They just can't figure out where to go, especially one of them. And it was just a mess. all around mess. But anyway, I wanted to add this a little bit to this and go ahead and put it up. And really, I thought it was about something else. I thought it was, but I guess in a way it was about both. Like I just wrapped up. Anyway, I didn't listen to all of it. And it's from the 18th, like I said, today's the 4th. Okay, I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.